Hey man, what's doing?
How diddly doodly there, Tom.
Welcome back to the Therapy Unzipped podcast, where we try to help you heal and grow and maybe change in a positive direction and take back fucking control of your life. How many out there want to take back control?
hmm And you're gonna listen to two old dudes, two old therapists that have been doing this since Jesus lost his sandals out in the desert.
Yeah. Hey, they broke the sun and the dryness, hey,
Yeah,
it's what
that's right.
happens.
hmm But
So,
see, we can help you find your sandals, and we can help you with leather care. I mean, because
yeah.
we're just old and we do everything.
Well, we are here to help. So we want to answer your questions out there. So send them in. There's a number of ways that you could send them in. You can send them to questions at therapyonzip.com. I post on social media, all the platforms daily, and you can look me up and Suggestible Mind, Tom Metzinger. You check out the website, suggestiblemimind.com. That has a link to virtually all the social medias. And maybe through there, maybe a video or maybe some comments, maybe, like a whole bunch of ways that you can reach out to us and then we can answer your questions on the show. We're here to help you. Of course, we are great friends and have been for a long time, and that's going to continue for the rest of our lives, Brett and I. So we're going to still do it, but we'd like to be able to help you in the in the meantime. So
Absolutely.
that's what we're here for. We're here to help. That's what we've signed up for. That is our archetype to be of service to others, to help. And so that's what we're going to do. And in fact, today we have a question, at least the beginning of a question. Somebody's reaching out to me, and that was through TikTok. Gentleman um, wanted to make a goal for himself and then needed help with carving out the path to reach that goal. There wasn't anything specific regarding that, but maybe let's start talking about that. And of course, this gentleman, if you listen to the show and you want to kind of clarify and maybe have some specific things you'd like for us to talk about, then send a message, a variety of different ways to us, and we'll tackle it. But setting a goal and then carving out the path to do it. Now, last time, well, I had a story last time, which was kind of cool. And but the previous time before that, I think we did the stages of change. And it sounds like this gentleman is in a contemplative stage, pre-contemplative, contemplative, somewhere around there of wanting to make a change, knowing that he needs to make a change, and knowing that that's the right thing to set a goal. So I don't know what's going on in his life, but maybe we'll just kind of talk about goal setting and what that looks like, how we help clients do that, and then moving through carving out that path to achieve it.
hmm Goal setting. Something that we talk a lot about with people that we interact with on a daily basis. My favorite story about goal setting is I read a biography, and of course, because I'm old and my brain is mushy, I cannot remember the gentleman's name, but it'll come to me. And I believe it was the old Notre Dame football coach.
Yeah.
Anyway, I read his biography years and years and years ago, and what he did, and he wrote a lot in his biography, is as a kid he wrote out like a list of 100 goals of things he wanted to accomplish in his lifetime, and there
Yeah.
were crazy things in there like go to the moon, get $1 million, blah 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 blah, like just 100 different things on his goal sheet, and what he wrote as a teenager, and even as an adult. I mean, he wrote this thing when he was like 60. He still had that list. And what he did was every year at a certain time, I don't know, his birthday or New Year's or something, he would go through his list and he would pull out one goal that he wanted to work on that year. And
Yeah.
he would put all his attention, not all of his attention, but any extra attention that he had outside of his general life to
Yeah.
focus on that goal.
Yeah.
And 8 times out of 10, he would get just the fact that he would focus so much attention on a singular outcome. He
Yeah.
would either achieve that goal or get close to it. Now, he didn't go to the moon, of course, but um, he would, and just the attention, singular attention to a single goal for an annual purpose,
Right.
he would. get close to that goal. And then he talked about goal setting, and even on his list, he referenced it in the book, but he would make changes to it, and he would adjust it, and he never scratched it out, so he couldn't read it. But maybe his goal wasn't to go to the moon, but maybe as he got older, maybe it was. If it was still important to him, I think he was doing something with the space program or supporting astronauts or learning more about that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
but the whole point of that story was we accomplish what we pay attention to, right? And it's not just a list that you pull out once a year. Once you pull out that goal that you're going to work on for the year, he would write that, he would keep that list or write it on a separate piece of paper and put it on his mirror in his bedroom every morning where he would see it. So
Mhm.
you have to pay attention to it and focus on it on a daily basis.
Yeah. And I love that singularity of focus instead of picking eight things that you want to change or be different, because really this is where it's birthed, the goal setting. And especially when we have clients come in who have a specific challenge that they want to work on, we come up with, we call them treatment plans, but eventually it's like goals that this
Mhm.
person wants to achieve, and then the ways in which we're going to assure that they achieve those goals so that our treatment with them is a successful thing and we can measure it along the way. So out of the I want to change these things about my life or about myself, then this is where the goals come in to play. And so if you have things in your life, whether it's about yourself or about the conditions or your environment that you'd like to change, just start by writing those things out. And the singularity of focus is choosing one of those things, and let's focus on that and let's see that through to completion, however long that's going to take. Of course, we know that if we put some time sensitivity to it, that can be motivating for us, or at least help us kind of see the small steps along the way.
Mhm.
Instead of saying, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to give myself 10 years to do it, like that's not motivating in the moment. But if you're going to give yourself 6 months to do it, that can be much more helpful. So anyway, out of what do you want to change, that's where we can craft some goals, write down a bunch of them, and then let's focus on one of those things
Mhm.
and let's start working on that. And let's start building a lifestyle or a behavior or things that you're going to do, steps that you're gonna take so that you can achieve that goal. That's really where it begins.
And the goal can be an overarching goal. Like it doesn't have to be very specific. Like I want to lose weight and get in better shape. That's a great goal,
Yeah,
right? But that's very fuzzy. I mean, how do you do that? What does that mean? So if that's your goal for the 12 months or the 6 months or the period of time that you choose, then you have to break that down. Okay, so what am I going to do to get there? I'm going to double my vegetable intake for the week and then break it down even more specifically. So it's hard to say, I'm going to do this every day for a year. That doesn't
right.
mean a whole lot.
Yeah,
It's hard to look that far in the future. But if you can work on a week basis, and even if a week's not working for you, you can break it down to a daily basis, right? So
hmm,
I want to lose weight and get in better shape. Well, what does that mean? I'm going to double my vegetable intake and reduce my carb intake for the week, and I'm going to go for a walk 5 out of 7 days, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a very attainable goal. And you've broken it down for the week. Now, once you've achieved that goal at the end of the week, you can like, okay, what am I going to do next week? Am I going to continue with this? And I would encourage you to get consistent with that. Do that 3, 4 weeks in a row, and then adjust. Okay, well, I'm going to double the amount of time that I'm walking. I'm walking, 25 minutes a day. I'm going to put that up to 40 minutes a day. And I'm going to eliminate bread from my diet or whatever it is you want to choose. I don't think that you need to eliminate anything from your diet. It's more about portion control.
yeah,
And Tom, you and I have talked about this a lot of times, and we've both struggled with our weight
yeah.
over the years. And we were both fat kids, and now and now we're fat men. But no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we've struggled and we've tried every diet, everything you can imagine that we've done that. And when it comes down to you can amend your diet for a certain period of time. But it's the fact that you're using the word diet, it's not unsustainable.
Yeah.
So you need to make a lifestyle change, right? And my lifestyle change is if I want ice cream, I'm going to eat ice cream, but it's going to be once every 2 weeks. And it's going to
Hmm.
be a half a portion of what I used to. I wouldn't, I'm not eating a full Ben and Jerry's anymore, but every two
Right.
weeks, I'm going to eat a third of the Ben and Jerry's or a half of the Ben and Jerry's, right? It's
Yeah.
about portion control. I went to Italy for a week and I ate pizza and beer for lunch every day. I ate pasta and wine for dinner. I had gelato at least once, if not twice a day, and I lost weight. And it's about portion control and exercise. I walked
Yeah.
everywhere and
Right.
I would have a little cup of gelato, which was perfect. Or I had
Uh-huh.
a bowl of pasta.
Right.
So,
It wasn't an overindulgence,
right.
and you were expending those calories doing
Hmm.
that. And that was the lifestyle, right?
Hmm.
Hey,
Right.
when in Rome.
Exactly.
There
And
are three big barriers that I run into with people when we form, whether it's treatment plans or goals. And of course, I don't wouldn't necessarily even bring that verbiage up, treatment goals, because that's really for clinicians, you know. But so we talk about the goals that we want to achieve, things that we want to address, and the things that they want to be different moving forward. And here's the three big barriers. And I know there are other ones, but these are almost across the board that people run into. And maybe we can kind of talk about that. One, time. I don't have the time to do the things that I need to do to achieve this goal. Two, money slash resources. I don't have the financial means to do the things that I need to do. Eating healthy is really expensive, so I don't think I can do that. I just don't have, the dollar menu at McDonald's is, too tempting in comparison to spending, you know, um,
a bag of frozen
$15 for
vegetables is a
eggs.
bucket at Walmart.
Yeah. $15 for eggs now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Um, and number three is motivation. And of course, we've talked a lot about motivation and how motivation is really just, I'll just say it's fucking bullshit
It
because
doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist.
It
It's
rides on the
here
back
for
of a
like,
unicorn.
yeah. And so we challenge that with being disciplined. Just this is what I'm going to do, and then you need to consistently do that
Mhm.
every day, whether you want to or not, and you will definitely achieve that goal because there's a lot of tried and true methods out there. I mean, it's not like anything that you're up against that you want to change about yourself hasn't already been done a million different ways. You just
Mhm.
have to figure out the way that's going to work for you and resonate with you. So time finances or resources, and I'm not motivated to do it because, I like for the weight loss, perfect example, I like the donuts and the ice cream and the junk food, and I like overindulging, or because that's what I've always done. That's what my family has done. That means love, health, feeling better. You got to eat. Uh, Connection with others, dopamine hits, all those things. So at the end of the day, when you feel stressed and you feel overwhelmed, even though you're on a diet or you're trying to lose weight, um, that night you decide I'd rather have this stuff, this not so healthy stuff for myself, more so than I want to stick to my goals or stick to the things I know I need to do. I'll do that tomorrow. So that becomes a barrier too, as I just don't have the motivation or the compelling why right now in this moment to
Mhm.
do that thing.
Right.
So those are the three
And
big barriers that we run into.
and the thing that we've talked about before, the funny thing is as soon as I blow my diet, right? Well, I'll just wait till Monday to restart, right? It's
Yeah.
Friday night and I just ate a half a pizza and I've
Yeah.
blown it. So I'm just gonna pig out this weekend and start Monday.
Fuck it.
No, you start right now. You ate a half a pizza, it's over, be done with it. And I'm
Yeah.
back on my portion control.
Hmm.
So I won't have the ice cream after the pizza. I'm just gonna, move on with my
Yeah.
day.
We know a bunch of things about people who achieve their goals. And when they do these
Mhm.
things help overcome those barriers that I just mentioned and keep them disciplined to keep going with those goals. We know that if you find a suggestion from a lot of different people, find suggestions from a lot of different people, and find the one that makes you feel a certain way. Maybe it makes you feel like, hey, I could do that. That's doable for me. Then take that one and then start doing it and be consistent about it every day. And you'll start to see those changes over a period of time. Telling other people about what it is you're doing, whether that's weight loss or I want to quit smoking or I want to try to reduce my anxiety and my stress level, telling other people so that they can kind of hold you accountable,
Mhm.
even if they don't say anything, just seeing them and knowing that you've told them, hey, I want to quit smoking or I want to de-stress and meditate more, they're going to be looking at you and it's like that unspoken, hey, are you doing those things that you said you were going to be doing?
Right.
And telling a lot of people hold you more accountable for it because
Hmm.
either they're going to say, hey, how's it going with that goal? Or you feel more responsible yourself to that person that you told.
Yeah, we've talked about accountability partners, and it held true for you and I working out for every day for 4 years or
Yep.
plus. And there were times, mornings where we did not feel it. I just want to lay here in bed, but we couldn't. And we just knew that, Tom's gonna be standing out in that driveway and he gonna be cursing my name if I don't get my fat
Right.
ass out of bed and get over there. So,
You're like, I'm going to pull up and he's going to have the 75-pound dumbbells out there. And
and I'm gonna keep riding.
yeah.
Just doing a lap around the block. I'm going
Uh,
home.
yeah, I hope his back is turned or he's still inside and hasn't come out yet.
But you're right. I mean, accountability partners, and that happens in a lot of different ways. It have, your friends, family, whatever. But you can also do it like online. There's weight loss online groups where you can
Mhm.
join, and
Right.
even because you're in community and you're talking with people. I mean, that's one of the benefits of like support groups or AA or some of those things is you're with a like-minded group of people that are struggling with an issue just like you. So
Mhm.
there is power in partnership. Um,
Yes.
so an online accountability group, when you're putting your weight out there, or how many pounds you've lost every week out there.
Yeah.
So it's very helpful.
If you find people that want to achieve that similar goal
Mhm.
and you do that together, that is hugely, beneficial to you. This is what we have found works really well. And you know what? I, as the therapist, can hold the person accountable to the best of my ability, but I'm not alongside them necessarily day in and day out doing that, other than maybe a text message here and there, or talking about it in session. But you need to find people who are in your life that are working towards that goal that can help hold you accountable and you can hold them accountable to their own, goals and the steps they want to achieve it.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
there's a number of ways to set goals, of course. In therapy, we talk about the SMART goal setting, and we'll just briefly touch on it because this can be tremendously helpful for setting goals and then working towards achieving them. We know that this works really well, but it's not the only way. But let's give you a refresher because I'm sure a lot of you out there who are listening have heard of SMART goals. So it's an acronym. Hey, I was in the Marines. We love acronyms. So let's talk about some SMART goals, SMART goal setting.
S is for specific. You got to get specific on what your goal is. It can't be too fluid out there. I want to feel better is not a smart goal. I want to get healthy and lose some weight is getting there. But
Right.
if you can even hone in on that some more, get as specific as you can, but not too specific. You don't. I mean, I guess you could do, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next month. I mean, that is specific, but don't lose sight of the overall what you want to accomplish.
Right. But being as specific as you can regarding that, because that helps with the rest of the acronym, the rest of the things that you're going to do.
Hmm.
As if,
And
like
measure.
with, yeah, M is how we going to measure your progress along the way. So if you set a specific goal, maybe the lofty goal is I want to lose weight and feel better and be healthy. Or I want to reduce my stress level. My stress seems to be at a 10, 0 to 10, 10 being the worst it's ever been. It seems to be like a 9 or 10 on a daily consistent basis. And I want to lower that. I know I can't get rid of all stress, but I want to lower that to like a 2 or 3, you know. I want to lose maybe 30 to 50 pounds, and I'm not sure how to do that or how long that's going to take. But the specific goal could be I want to lose 1, 2 pounds per week, or I want to reduce my stress by a half a point,
Mhm.
each week. So if it's at a 10, by the end of the week, and going into next week, I want it to be more like a 8.5, 9.5, somewhere around that instead of 9 to 10. Okay.
Mhm.
That's now how we going to measure that. All right. With weight, of course, we have the scale,
Mhm.
but that's not always a true accurate measure. We also have logging in your calories. That could be more beneficial to you.
Mhm.
Um, I know that, how you feel and how your clothes fit can kind of be a measurement too, or you can actually take measurements. You can take a body fat measurement, figure out how you're going to measure that, and then be consistent with that measurement. If you want to use the scale for weight loss, fine, because you'll see changes over time.
Mhm.
Or if you just want to see your calories and log in your calories and then just see that, you sticking to that or going underneath that to be in a caloric deficit, then use that as your measurement. But pick a way that you're going to measure achievement of those goals. How are you going to rate your stress level? If you're at a 9 or a 10, how are you rating that now? Is it just how you feel per day, or is there some way of that you measure that? And then how can we measure the changes or the reduction
Mhm.
in that? That would be really important.
And let's just talk for a minute about the power of measurement. So, we talk a lot in sessions with people about measuring stuff, right? And we use the 0 to 10 scale. Sometimes we use a 0 to 100, but 0 to 10 scale is great, right? And we do that with depression, with anxiety, with mood, with all kinds of stuff, and take that measurement every day. Is it subjective? Yes, but is it measure? But is it reliable? Yes. You're the same person that's measuring it every day.
Right.
And you can, but what's a five for me may not be a five for Tom. So it's not always relatable to other people, but it's relatable to yourself. So we talk about when measurements are reliable and what's the other term? I can't forget. Anyway, but it's reliability. And as long as the same person is measuring on the same criteria, it means something. So,
Right. So now this goes into the A, which is achievable. Is this achievable for you? And like if you want to, if you're 175 pounds and by the end of the year you want to be a world-class power lifter, is that achievable? Probably not.
mhm,
And you're 40, is that probably no, probably
right,
not. But what is achievable,
right.
and how, let's say, we're into the weightlifting. So if strength is my goal, I want to improve my overall strength. How I'm
Mhm,
going to measure it is the weight on the barbell.
mhm,
Then am I going to be an elite power lifter by the end of the week, or the end of the year? Probably not.
yeah,
But if I move up consistently, I can be a lot stronger, and I can measure that by the weight on the bar. And of course, how I feel, how I look, that is more achievable to me, to go up, let's say 25 to 50 pounds on all my lifts. That's probably achievable by the end of the year if I'm consistent with it and I work on it, every week, 3 times a week, and I'm going up, 2.5 to 5 pounds, per lift, and I'm sticking to that training goal, then that's going to be more achievable to me. So the goals need to be achievable for yourself. Is it achievable to lose 100 pounds for you, and you work, 10 hours a day, and you only have like 20 minutes to exercise, and financially you can't afford, Whole Foods or Fresh Market or all the healthy stuff and all the supplementations and the Manjaro shots and all that. Like it's probably not achievable. So what would be achievable for you? And let's focus your goal setting around those things.
And a little side note, I think people like to hear about us occasionally. You back in the day, you and I were very focused on lifting heavy weights repeatedly, and we
Yeah.
kept jacking it up and jacking it up and increasing our weight. And we got to the point where we looked at each other and we were lifting like crazy heavy weight, and we're old, so
Yeah.
when we get hurt, it's not going to be good.
Right.
And we finally looked at each other one day and we're like, maybe we need to back this off a little bit.
Yeah, right. Because like if you keep going up, that's exactly what happens is that we get hurt and then we can't train. And I still want to train.
Yeah,
So I'm okay with it not being the top PR
yeah,
lift that I can do. But the fact that I can still go out there and do it and feel pretty good and feel pretty strong, that's what really matters to me. It doesn't matter what the weight is on the bar for me. Maybe I'm not improving my strength as much as I could be if I keep going
mhm,
up, but you know what? That's just not it's not relevant. And that's
yeah,
the R. It needs to be relevant for you. Is this going to
absolutely.
align with your overall like the other goals or the other qualities in your life that you want?
Mhm,
If you want to be stronger in the gym and be a bodybuilder, that's going to take up a lot of time because
mhm,
being a physique bodybuilder, just as an example, that requires many hours in the gym every day per week. It probably requires TRT or maybe anabolic steroids and getting up and having meals, every 3 to 4 hours. And if you're married and you have kids, is that relevant for you? Is that realistic? Can you do that? Probably not. That's probably going to not align with your goals of having a successful marriage and a
mhm,
family and a career.
mhm. Well, I'm going to be 55 this year, and it was like, is it really important that I squat 425 pounds? No.
Mhm.
I absolutely don't need to do that. I'm not in competition. I'm not, so yeah, it wasn't relevant anymore. I mean, we pushed it and pushed it for a while, and then we decided, we're not going for PRs all the time.
Right.
Personal records.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to align with your life as well. And that's what the relevant section is for. That it's
Mm,
got to be something that is going to complement other things that you like and enjoy doing, other qualities that you desire in your life. So that's the challenge is finding something that you can successfully do and maintain
mhm.
that is going to be, specific, measurable, achievable for you, and that's relevant to your lifestyle.
And then the T is time limited. This is
Yeah.
not a forever ending goal for the rest of your life. So, what is the end goal of this? How long am I going to do this for? At least then your brain has an end point. And that helps with motivation. If you say, I'm never going to eat ice cream for the rest of my life, my life, it's
No.
it's horrible. But if you can say,
Oh.
for my healthy reasons or my diabetes or whatever, I'm not going to eat ice cream for 2 months. And your
Uh-huh.
brain said, okay, I can do that.
Yeah. So
So time time limited.
having it time sensitive, there's a time limit, it's time bound. And you know what? Like I said before, if it's within 3 months or within 6 months, that's a little bit more consumable. That's a smaller bite. Like I can do this for the next 3 months so that I
Hmm.
can see that change that I want to have so I can achieve that goal. And then after that, you could form a new SMART goal that you can start working on.
Hmm. And change it up a little bit. Do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Add some novelty to it for sure.
I just want to stress whatever you decide is going to be your goal, and you've gone through the SMART goal setting or however you want to structure it. Um, Utilizing those elements that we discussed, having an accountability partner, being disciplined and sticking to it. Stay with it for that period of time,
Hmm.
even if you don't see results as well. Now you can tweak some things here and there, but don't just abandon it. And I think this is the biggest fault that people fall into is that they start working it and after 2 weeks, they're not seeing any changes. And so
Hmm.
they say, well, that wasn't a great goal. and that's not going to work for me. Fuck it. And then they come up with something else to do. And they keep doing that every 2 weeks. And
Hmm.
then, of course, nothing happens, nothing changes. They stay stuck. And they say, well, that didn't work for me, but you didn't try it. You didn't do it long enough. You
Hmm.
have to stay consistent with it. So I think at least 90 days. Stick with something for 90 days. I don't know why that's a magical number, but it seems to be a magical number. So just stick with whatever that thing is.
Hmm.
Do it for 90 days. It's not that long. If nothing works and nothing happens after the 90 days, then hey, it's only 3 months. You can find another way, tweak it a certain way, come up with a different goal that's going to fit those things that we discussed today better, and then do that for 30 days. You'll probably see results the first time. And if you change it because you didn't see the results you wanted, then tweak it, add to it, change it up, do that for another 90 days. I bet you'll see some results then.
And remember, you didn't put on that extra 40 pounds in 2 weeks, so it's not going to come off in 2 weeks.
Correct.
I mean, really, for weight loss, if you're taking off a half a pound to a pound a week, that's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot, depending on how much weight you have to lose.
Right.
Like for me, I mean, I could, not eat for a day and lose 5 pounds because I'm
Yeah.
a big old person.
Your stress level, if that's something you want to reduce, didn't get to a 9 or 10
Mhm.
overnight or over 2 weeks. This has been ongoing. This has been a pattern. This has been how you've approached life. You just don't handle stress as well as other people that you're around, if you're at a 9 or a 10. And so it's not going to reduce automatically one therapy session or after 2 weeks. We have to consistently do these things. So, like journaling and meditation, people do it for 2 weeks and they're like, what? Yeah, that didn't work for me. Well, do it for 90 days and see what happens consistently, no
Yeah,
matter what.
yeah. So goal
Maybe
setting, you gotta get real with it. You gotta get specific with it. You have to put it in the forefront and focus your attention on it. Nothing's gonna happen if you don't pay attention to it. SMART goals: specific, attainable, or specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time sensitive. SMART.
yeah. So I hope that that has helped you, Casey, out there who messaged me on TikTok about that. And if there's anything else you want to clarify or add to or hear us talk about, and anybody else out there who wants to keep the conversation going about this or has a specific question that's related to them that they want us to tackle, please get a hold of us, whether it's through social media or whether it's through questions at therapyunzipped.com. Send us a message. We want to help you.
We're
Thanks
here
again
for
for
you.
today, Brett.
Good seeing you, Tom.
It's always a pleasure. I hope that you have a magical weekend.
Sliding into the weekend.
Yeah. There's nothing in particular I have to do this weekend.
Oh, that is so nice.
I mean, I'm gonna find some shit to do, but
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a couple projects that I
yeah,
got want to work on, but yeah, I'm looking forward to them.
yeah, yeah. There's always the honey-do list that just gets is just sort of there and added to, so I can tackle some of those things. But I love it when there's nothing pressing that immediately I must take care of Saturday or else. There's nothing like that for this weekend, so I'm gonna enjoy it. And weirdly so, I'll probably be more productive.
Hmm. I'm gonna let my honey do turn into a honey didn't.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, the TV was just calling my attention this weekend.
Yeah. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right.